looking at those beautiful sandy beaches, the palm trees gently billowing in the ocean breeze, the sparkling crystal waters of the ocean, and the idyllic tropical coastal towns. You'd be forgiven for thinking this was one of the island nations of the Caribbean. This is actually one of Africa's best kept secrets. A little group of islands in the Indian Ocean. Comoros. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you a little mini series, little change of pace on the channel. I am here with postcards from Comoros. So, as I said in the intro, Comoros is a nation that not many people have heard of, to be frank, a small collection of islands in the Indian Ocean. But they're a team that have come to my attention of late. Why is that? Well, as you may have seen on my channel recently, I've released some international competition add-on files for the game. Do check the links down in the description or the video link which should be appearing above my head now or a few seconds ago, where I explain it all. So I've added lots of real international competitions to the game that are not in the vanilla version of FM for some reason. Now, Comoros is a nation which greatly benefits from my added competitions. Usually, Comoros, they would play in African Cup of Nations early qualifying rounds and African World Cup qualifying, again, early qualifying rounds. Often they get drawn in a two-legged game, they get knocked out, and that's it. No more competitive football for 2 years or 4 years. But with these new competitions, they've got some new places to play. Now, Comoros is a member of the Confederation of Southern African Football Associations, also known as COSAFA. So one of the competitions I've added is the COSAFA Senior Challenge Cup. This is an annual event. There are 14 nations that participate. It's an annual event held in South Africa around the end of the season. So that's going to be coming up in May 2021. That's going to be the feature of the next episode. It's not going to be today's episode. Today's episode is an extra bonus episode to a bonus series for the first episode, if that makes any sense. I'll explain it all in a moment. Comoros is also a member of the UAFA, which I believe is the United Arab Football Associations. So they are also a team that's involved in this new tournament, the FIFA Arab Cup, which is going to be held in the winter of 2021 in Qatar as a kind of warm-up for the 2022 World Cup. Comoros will be one of the nations there. They enter in the preliminary round, so we'll be tracking our progress there as well. And as I said earlier, Comoros is in the Indian Ocean, and so they take part in this nice little tournament I've discovered, a real tournament, I will stress again, called the Indian Ocean Island Games, multi-sport event held every 4 years, but has a senior football tournament. So we have the likes of Comoros, Seychelles, Mauritius, Maldives, Madagascar. We've got French territories of Reunion and Mayotte in here as well. So a nice fun little tournament, and maybe one that we might have a chance of winning. So just to look at the nation of Comoros, the footballing nation, as you can see here, their nickname is Le old lady plays will help me with that one. Small population, less than 1 million. Ranked 129th in the world at the moment. They were 138th in the world at the start of the game. I'll show you how we've managed to rise up the rankings slightly. So you see I'm in here as the manager. Now, in terms of players, there's no big name players. This isn't one of those small African teams that has a huge star, but we do have some decent players here. We've got this guy, Fouad Bashiru, Nottingham Forest player. Now, I believe he's at Nottingham Forest at the start of the game. This wasn't an in-game transfer as far as I'm aware, although it might have been. But interesting career. Started out at PSG, then was released and went to Greenock Morton, of all places, in the Scottish Championship. Went over to Sweden, got into the Malmo team, now at Nottingham Forest. We also have a good keeper, Ali Ahamada, who's in-game at FC Dallas, but he does start the game at Brann in Norway. but interesting bit of worldwide attention that brings us. Then we've got the simply named Ben, who plays Red Star Belgrade. I can't get away from Red Star Belgrade in whatever the series on my channel at the moment. Very versatile player, this guy, though. He can play on the wing, he can play in the central attack and midfield role, he can play up front, and he's our best player in all of those positions. Little mini international tip: when you're picking players for squads, these kind of versatile players are gold. So when you pick up injuries, suspensions, you can rotate, you can put these guys anywhere. Someone who's also caught my eye in the games I've played with this team so far, Changama. He's an attacking midfielder. Well, that's where I've been playing him, but can play as a central midfielder as well and has been key in our games. Shoots from distance, shoots with power. You might not be able to see that because of my head, but he's shown us that he can do that. So I'll show you the fixtures. Now, I took over at the start of November. I've loaded the South African leagues, so I set the start date to be November, start of the South African domestic season. So all these friendlies were played, simmed as the game was being set up. We were in this African Nations group. Now, this started in 2019, November 2019. I'm assuming these are real life results, but again, they may have been simmed. But we lost 4-0 at home to Mali. Understandable, but away to Chad as well. But then I came in, first game in charge, away to Kenya in this African Cup of Nations qualifying group. We managed to win 6-0. Absolutely fantastic performance. Here's another player I should have shown you, Rafadine Abdullah. He was fantastic in that game. He scored a hat-trick just running in from deep. Really great stuff to see. And then a few days later, we beat Chad 5-1. So suddenly we went from having no points in the group and having been thrashed twice to being second in the group, having scored a shed load of goals. Then we went through into 2021. Away to Mali, we managed to get a 1-1 draw. A key caveat here, though, was that Mali had won 4 out of 4 before this game and therefore had already qualified, already guaranteed first place. So these are basically glorified friendlies for them, the remaining 2 games. So I think they fielded a bit of a weakened team. They weren't trying very hard, but they let us have a point, basically. Now, Kenya beat Chad in the other game. So one game we're playing today to kick this series off is our final game in this qualifying pool. We are home to Kenya. If we can get a point, we're going to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, which will be huge for a nation like Comoros. I don't think they've ever qualified before. And then that will add a little extra episode to this series because we can't qualify for African Cup of Nations and then just not show it on the channel. So today we're going to do this qualifying match. Then next episode is going to be the COSAFA Cup, depending on how we perform in that. It might be 2 episodes. Then we're going to have the Arab Cup. Then we're going to have the African Cup of Nations. And then we're going to wrap things off in this mini-series with the Indian Ocean Island Games. I'm not going to go on beyond that. I just want to showcase some of these competitions I've added for you. Don't forget, links to download those if you're interested in them are in the description. Right, little bit of a makeshift element to this team today. You'll recognise the formation. I did want to look at doing something different here, so I'm not just playing the same formation that I've been playing with Santa Clara in the Breaking the Big 3 save or with Southampton in the FMPL Versus series, but really this makes the best use of my best players. Striker is a bit of a problem for us. Ben would normally play up there, but because we've got a couple of suspensions and injuries, you see these guys, Solihi, Burhani and Bachiru, the Nottingham Forest player, they're all unavailable for today. So we're going to have to drop Ben a bit deeper and put this guy Bakar up there. But let's get on with it anyway. Let's see if we can beat Kenya. And while we're waiting for the teams to warm up, if you've been using any of my international competitions, do let me know down in the comments. Any feedback's appreciated. If you want to see some of the other competitions in action, we've already had some other creators showcasing them. So Aussie Villain has done a little mini-series where he played the Gulf Cup. And FM Story over on his blog, My FM Story, he's done the West African Nations Cup. FM Trek has done the Arab Nations Cup as well, and we've got more content coming from the likes of FM Greeno, Old Lady Plays, Zilla Blitz, Leo Damus. I've said it now, guys, so you have to do it. Okay, so here come the teams. We're ready to kick off. Like we say, just a point needed to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, but it's Kenya with the early pressure. Of course, they have to win, so they will have to attack at some point in this game, but they'll leave themselves open to runs like that. Faiz Selemani runs the length of the pitch, fires it home to put us 1-0 up early on. This has been a feature of those two big wins we scored early in our previous big wins over Kenya and Chad. But look at that, beautifully placed. Oh, we are on our way. Right then, second highlight, coming halfway through this first half. If we can add a second here, then we're going to be cruising. Ben with the ball. What's he going to do? He's going to work some magic. He brings it forward, plays it out wide to Yusuf. Nice stuff. Get that cross in. Selemani, the goal scorer. Oh, bit of a scramble, but it comes to Abdullah. Rafadine Abdullah getting up from the central midfield position again to score 2-0. This is going perfectly. Almost too perfect. I don't want to tempt fate. But nicely done. Yes, come on. We can do it. Okay, here come Kenya. They're looking to get back into this. But if we can hold on, keep this clean sheet, and then, that will put us in a very strong position. It's going to be difficult for them to come back, especially away from home. But let's see what comes of this highlight. Hopefully they give it away and we can turn it into a quick counter-attack. Here comes Ben. Come on, Ben. Get in there. He's being patient, pulled it back to Yusuf. Like to see that. Now let's get it down that right wing again. We've got our guy out in space there, but no, it looks like we're going to switch. Abdullah plays it through. Selemani again. Second goal of the game for him. Third goal of the night for Comoros. Fantastic. Uh-oh, here come Kenya. Ooh, of course they've got Wanyama in their team, haven't they? He nearly scored there, but thankfully he didn't. He's the kind of player that could turn this game in their favour. But if we can add a fourth before half-time, well, that would be crazy, but it would be great. And we do. Nasser Hamed with the goal. Oh, we're just cruising along on this now. Oh, yes, the African Cup of Nations is within touching distance. Fantastic stuff. Great play. We're really murdering them on that right side of the pitch. Long may it continue. Oh, is there going to be another before half-time? Oof, Selemani nearly got his hat-trick there. Wow, we're really dominating this one just like we did in Nairobi. Oh, and we don't get to half-time yet. The punishment's not over. Faiz Selemani gets his hat-trick. 5-0. I did not expect these kind of results with Comoros, but well done, boys. Fantastic volley from Selemani. Wow. 5-0. We're all over them. So we tell them, of course, very pleased with that performance. Just keep it going. Everybody's playing well, except for this guy, Al-Hadr. Maybe he just hasn't touched the ball because, Kenya haven't really used the flanks much. Well, let's see if we can add a couple more. That would, just to make it nice and comfortable so we can completely relax. But we'll make our substitutions in the meantime. So I'm going to bring on Abdallah at left back. And shall we let Selemani have a bit of a rest? We'll bring on this guy Bakari in his place. And I'm going to bring on, this is a player from the Comoran leagues. We really don't have much depth in the striker position at all. But we'll let him have a run out, see if he can get a goal. Seeing as, we are so comfortably in front at this point. Shamed here with another free kick. Zahari comes up from the back to nod it in. 6-0. We've matched the scoreline from the away game with Kenya. Let's see if we can go one better Well, maybe we can. Well, this will be one of the final chances. We're into the 89th minute. Abdullah goes for a shot. That was a bit optimistic, I think. Well, highlight continues. Let's see. Yes, the ball comes straight back to us. Kenya haven't really created anything at all. Okay, our local striker obviously did not spot that through ball coming at all. And here comes Avire for Kenya. Oh, hits the post. Oh, but then gets the rebound because nobody could be bothered to stop him. Well, that's, not going to take the shine off it. It's still a fantastic win from us, but consolation, a late consolation for the Kenyans. Wow, 6-1 win in the end. Fantastic stuff from my boys. I like this team already. So we're going to tell them qualification in the bag, deservedly so. Fantastic stuff. Well, yeah, Kenya blow their qualification chances big time. Comoros celebrate their first ever qualification for the African Cup of Nations. Fantastic. Right, so I fast forwarded about 10 days after that Kenya game. It's the draw for the COSAFA Senior Challenge Cup group stage today. So the way this works is the 8 lowest ranked teams in the federation, of which we are one, go into a group stage. 2 groups of 4, but it's pretty tough going. Only the top team can then qualify. So 2 teams will come out of this to join the 6 largest, highest ranked nations from the Southern African Federation in the quarter-final round. So probably the team to avoid here is Angola. Hopefully we end up in a different group to them. But let's see. Well, Angola, Botswana go into Group A and Group B. Lesotho are joining Angola. Will we go into Group B? Yes. Comoros join Botswana in Group B. Mauritius go into Group A. Eswatini, newly named Swaziland, join us in Group B. Okay, that's nice. Seychelles, because Mauritius and Seychelles, those are 2 teams who we could face in the Indian Ocean Islands game, so it's good that we're not going to face them now. And then Malawi join us. So if we just have a look at the rankings at the moment, so we're now ranked 128th in the world. Botswana, 153rd. Eswatini, 141st, and Malawi, 132nd. So they're closely ranked to us, but we're the best, highest ranked nation out of those 4. So who knows? Maybe we can do it. So confirmation of that. I didn't need to click through everything. All the world rankings were here on the news item. But yes, confirmation that we're in there. We're to face Malawi. We've got to get a result against them or Eswatini. Botswana are being written off. We'll see what happens. Okay, great. So those are all in the fixtures. We're going to be playing Eswatini first, Malawi, and then Botswana over in South Africa. So what we're going to do in the next episode, we're going to go through that entire group stage, much as we did last year with the Cayman Islands in the New Gen Nations series. We'll play the entire group stage, brief highlights of each match. If we advance to the quarterfinal, that will be an additional episode. Do let me know today down in the comments section what you think of this mini-series. If you enjoyed today's game, what your predictions are for how we're going to do in the various competitions that we're going to be in. And make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.